Imagine being locked in a blinding white, perfectly square isolation chamber with a complete stranger for 100 days. No phones, no clocks, no sunlight. Your only goal? Survive the relentless mental pressure, and you split $500,000. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we aren't just talking about a wild Mr. Beast challenge, we are actually taking a profound look at the absolute limits of human psychology and how surviving that room perfectly mirrors what it takes to achieve massive financial independence in the real world.
Day 34. You know, most people think success comes from working harder, but honestly, that is only half the truth. The other half is protecting your mind. Raw physical effort just isn't enough on its own. Whether you're stuck in a claustrophobic cube eating the exact same canned chicken every single day, or you're out in the real world trying to build a business from scratch, the true secret to reaching massive goals is ruthlessly protecting your headspace from outside noise. Because the sheer exhaustion of the grind, it will completely break you if your mind isn't fortified first.
$500,000. That was the massive prize locked in a vault right outside the doors of that isolation chamber. For contestants Bailey and Susie, it was agonizingly close, yet 100 agonizing days away. And the parallel here is absolutely fascinating, right? Reaching real-world financial independence feels exactly like this. The goal is sitting right there, just out of reach, but to get it, you have to survive an absolute gauntlet of mental fatigue, profound boredom, and that creeping daily urge to just throw in the towel and go back to normal life.
That evening, imagine leaving that room and walking through the city alone. Headphones on, no music, just a motivational podcast playing in your ears. You look around, and what do you see? People everywhere are distracted, scrolling, complaining, wasting hours they are literally never going to get back. And for the first time, you notice something strange. The difference between successful people and everyone else isn't raw talent, it's attention. Successful people guard their attention like money. They completely shut out the noise that everyone else just freely lets in.
That realization right there shifts everything. Attention is not just a cognitive function. It is a literal financial asset. You have to guard it exactly like you guard the money in your bank account. Why? Because attention becomes action, and action becomes results. Every single day, you are making a transaction. You're either investing your attention into something that builds your future, or you are burning it on meaningless distractions that leave you exactly where you started.
Part 1. The cost of distraction, surviving the noise.
Okay, so the psychological escalation of this challenge is honestly terrifying. On day 1, Bailey and Susie met as complete strangers, awkward, polite, just kind of trying to get their bearings in this bizarre new reality. But by day 34, a hurricane caused a massive power outage, total darkness. This marked a really profound mental struggle. They had no distractions whatsoever, just their own spiraling thoughts in pitch black. It pushed them to the absolute brink, ultimately setting the stage for day 100, where they face the most stressful, high-stakes decision of their entire lives.
My eyes are burning. I haven't slept a single second in the last 48 hours. Think about that for a second. When you are trapped with blinding white lights and zero mental stimulation, the human mind literally starts to turn on itself. We saw deep paranoia set in, claustrophobia. At one point, Bailey and Susie were actually arguing over a spoon. It's wild, but it just goes to show how quickly the mind completely breaks down and fabricates conflict when it lacks the right focus and a clear direction. Now, the creators of the challenge knew this mental decay was inevitable, so they weaponized it. Every 10 days, they offered a temptation to ease the suffering, and it was paid for directly out of the prize money. I mean, they were offered smart beds and the ability to just turn off the lights for $50,000. A private chef meal, another $50,000. And eventually, the boredom got so completely unbearable that they dropped $100,101 on an entertainment bundle just to have a TV and some movies. Imagine spending 6 figures just to avoid sitting alone with your own thoughts.
But hey, before we judge them too harshly, we kind of have to look in the mirror. Whether it's the Mr. Beast Cube or creator Ryan Trahan trapping himself in a VR metaverse for 100 days until he felt completely detached from reality, we do the exact same things in our own lives. Mindless daily scrolling, buying overpriced comforts just to escape a reality we aren't happy with. We surrender our wealth and our attention to daily distractions instead of sitting with our thoughts, embracing the boredom, and doing the hard, quiet work that actually moves the needle.
Part 2. Focus becomes action, escaping the traditional route. $5,316. According to recent data, that is the average monthly income for someone on the traditional route. You know the drill: go into school, getting good grades, landing a 9-to-5 job.
It sounds incredibly safe, right? But the reality is you are constantly trading away your precious time, your freedom, and your guarded attention for a strictly limited paycheck. You are essentially trapped in a completely different kind of box, exchanging the absolute prime years of your life for a cap on your earning potential.
Part 3. Action becomes results. The $10,000 a month blueprint.
So let's dive into entrepreneur Mark Tilbury's 3-step system for actually escaping that box. Step 1. Consume. You have to focus your newly guarded attention on learning a high-income skill. We're talking video editing, coding, copywriting. Step 2. Apply. You must test these skills out in the real world. You got to put yourself out there and literally give yourself permission to fail. And step 3. Educate. Once you master the skill, you build a system and a community teaching others. This is exactly how you turn your raw attention into tangible, scalable wealth.
As you move through these stages, your financial reality shifts dramatically. In the consume stage, yeah, your income is low because you're just gathering resources and learning the ropes. But as you move into the apply stage and confidently take on some clients, your income starts growing. Finally, you hit that educate stage, creating courses or thriving communities. This is where your income scales exponentially to 10 grand a month and well beyond, because you're generating predictable, recurring revenue. You aren't just trading hours for dollars anymore. You have built a machine.
But to actually get there, you have to accept that the greatest successes come from having the freedom to fail. It's a required part of the blueprint. When you're in that apply stage, you are absolutely going to make mistakes. Just like feeling around in the dark during that day 34 power outage, you have to test the boundaries and stumble a bit. If you don't allow yourself the freedom to fail, you will stay paralyzed in the consumption phase and you will never scale your focus into a massive result.
Part 4. The ultimate choice. Split, steal, or scale.
Let's go back to the cube. On day 100, Bailey and Susie were offered the classic prisoner's dilemma: split or steal. They could choose to split, walking away with $180,000 each as allies. Or they could choose to steal. If one stole, they took it all. But if they both chose steal, they would walk away with absolutely nothing. 100 days of psychological torture for $0. It was a pure test of mental fortitude. After enduring all that paranoia and exhaustion, could they silence the noise and trust each other? Luckily, they both chose to split. They successfully guarded their minds against greed and walked away victorious.
Later that night, imagine returning home, opening your notebook, and writing this down. Your future is created by what you focus on daily. You look at that $500,000 goal again. Still far away, sure, but no longer impossible. As you sit there, you realize that every single day you are either moving closer to your goal or further away from it. There is no middle ground. So what are you focusing on daily? Because tomorrow, you face a decision that could change the entire challenge.